All right. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, man. Good morning to you, man. Thanks so much for joining, guys. We are going to be talking today about money, which is what most people are scared to talk about, but not me, because I'm a man with a plan. And today we're going to be talking about a get-rich plan. And the reason why I think this is such a valuable conversation is because you don't get rich by accident. You don't get rich by accident. You get rich by plan and by execution. And so there are many of us who, for some odd reason, think that we can pray our way into wealth. We can hope our way into wealth. We can, I don't know, just kind of fall into it. But although you could fall into getting rich, you're not going to fall into getting wealth. And so, so today I'm gonna be talking about a get rich plan, and I want to know whether you got a plan. Like, here's the man. This is so important to talk about because if you're around my age, or I would imagine I could attract to myself people within about a 15-year range of where I'm at as far as age is concerned. And if that's the case, then obviously we're all getting older, and we must begin to start thinking about our financial future. And if you think about your financial future and you want that future to be prosperous, or you think about your legacy, or you think about your children or your children's children or your children's 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 children, then you may be a person that's saying, you know what, I want to make sure that I do the best financially that I can do for my descendants to leave them in a better position to face this world and this society that we live in, or that I live in, which is America, which is capitalism. It's all about having capital. So how many of you guys are, actually have want to have a desire to leave capital to the next generation? So we're going to be talking about a get rich plan today here as New Black Wall Street presents the Money Talks with ERGJ. This is just candid conversation that I like to have with people about money, because not many people are talking about money. I mean, matter of fact, when we start talking about this, it's like when we start talking about money, black folk are like cockroaches. They start scattering when we start talking about money and getting rich and doing the work, especially when we start talking about doing the work that's necessary to do it as well. So go ahead and hit the like button, the share button, invite button, all that good stuff. Y'all know what time it is. Time to get the show on the road. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. He's your host.
All right, my beautiful people, man. Thanks so much for joining me this morning here on the New Black Wall Street as we present Money Talks with ERGJ. Of course, I'm your host, none other than ERGJ himself, CEO of BlackCEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club, which is a study of Black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you really desire to be rich or wealthier, rich and wealthy, then I believe that you should study wealthy people. Don't listen to poor dad, listen to rich dad. But most of us simply won't do the study. And because we don't do the study, we fail to get rich. Listen, there are examples, that come before us that have come to teach us. But it's important for us to go to class and to learn from those that have come before us. And so today, guys, you can pick up the book by simply going to the website, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. Pick up a copy today. Get the ebook. It's also available for my brothers and sisters that are in the diaspora. It's available in French. It's also available in French and audio. So you can pick that up as well so that you can read about our financial heroes, our wealth ambassadors that look like us. And so today, guys, on Money Talks, again, I'm going to be discussing this get rich plan that I want to talk about here today. And my first question is, do you have a get rich plan? Do you have a plan to get rich, right? Not only do you plan to get rich, but you have a plan, right? It's one thing to say, man, I'm planning to do it, but then I want to, can you sit down and look at that plan like a blueprint? Like, this is what I'm going to do to get rich. Now, here's the deal. Everybody's plan is not the same. And there's plenty of ways to get rich. But do you have at least one? That's the thing. Do you have at least one? If that's a desire of yours. See, what I've learned over the years is that everybody don't have a desire to get rich. We got a lot of socialists out here. They just want to, they want to kumbaya their way to a better world. They just think, hey, I'm going to create these programs. For some reason, they don't think the programs need money. So they're just going to create a program, and then the program is going to do some magical thing here on this earth. I find that to be laughable, right? I find it to be laughable. Even your program, your nonprofit needs profit. Did you know that? Yeah. So even your nonprofit needs profit. So to go into this world thinking that, oh, I can neglect the conversation about money, or I can get around it some type of way, I think it's absolutely ludicrous. And what I also found is that we have just been conditioned not to talk about money. And I believe because we don't talk about it, we don't have much of it, we are not able to move forward in this capitalistic society because others are getting capital and we are just trying to feel good. And I think that's a big problem in our community. So I'm just an advocate of talking and having a money talk, and also putting together money solutions for people who are serious about that thing. Okay, so that's just really what I do. Now, of course, it's early in the morning on a Saturday. It's 5:16 live here on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And I do this kind of strategically because I realize that I'm not looking for the masses. I'm not concerned about the masses at this point in my career, in my life. I'm looking for specific people who want to make a difference. The masses really don't want to make a difference. The masses want to watch somebody else do the work, and then they clap on the sideline and say, yes, we have a hero, right? But I'm looking for the people who actually want to do the work, who actually want to get rich together. And here's what I found, guys, that people come together when it's time to party. They don't come together when it's time to work. So, and also understand that, if you ain't going to work, you shouldn't eat, right? If you don't work, you don't eat. So I just really am on a mission to find, like I would say, like Jesus did, I'm trying to find my 12. I'm trying to find my disciples, and we can build this thing together because I'm on to something in what I do, and hopefully you're on to something in what you do, okay? So while you guys are connected, man, go ahead and hit the like button and share button if you care. And I'll just talk to you a little bit about ERGJ, what I'm doing, what's been going on, and we're going to talk about the Get Rich plan. Now, for those that don't know, we do have quite a few things coming up this week. It's Saturday today. I'll be out and about making money, right? I believe that weekends are made to get rich. I think they're designed for those who are willing to work on the weekend to actually build wealth for themselves. And so if you have a 9-to-5, kind of job, banker's hours, things like that, and you're not taking any time outside of your regularly scheduled program to increase your capital, to then use that capital to then multiply that capital. I'll tell you one thing Warren Buffett says it like this: if you don't find a way at some point in time in your life to have your money working for you, guess what? You'll always be working for the money. You'll never be able to retire. And what I call working for the money is simply learning how to multiply money. So this is a skill, I think, that is often overlooked, not discussed, not taught, right? We definitely know it's not taught. We definitely know it won't be taught to our community. So those who are in our community who know how to do this, they need to be the ones teaching it, right? So how to multiply money. This is, it's a few things, right? So if you are in a situation where you're not financially where you want to be, there's only really two things you can do. Number one, and you can do either one, you can do both, but it's a combination of these two things. It's really simple. And so and I'll tell you, this is one of the reasons why I don't teach money as much. Although I'm a certified financial educator, I can teach on any particular subject. I just don't really talk about it or teach it as much because it's simple. It's only a few steps. But anyway, if you're in a situation financially that you want to be in, you want to level up financially, you want to have more, you want to be able to use more, to be able to multiply more, you want to have more seed, it's only two things you really need to do. It's really only two things you can do. You either one, you reduce your expenses, or two, you increase your income. or both. It's really just that simple. It's nothing magical. It's really just that simple. I either A, going to reduce my expenses, B, increase my income, or C, do both. Now, here's the thing. Because many people, they start with the reducing of your expenses, which I think is noble, right? You want to cut the fat. Everybody put a console, cut the fat. You want to cut the fat, right? You want to cut the fat, stuff that's not necessary, that you're spending your money on, that you don't need, that you probably only got to impress somebody else. For example, one of my cutting the fats, I'm gonna tell you what one of my cutting the fats was when I started getting serious about getting rich. One of my cutting the fats was dating. That was, to me, that was fat. That was wasteful. I'm just spending money to impress some woman, right? So that so she can see me as some type of guy that's going to be able to provide and take care of her and all this good stuff, right? I just cut the fat. I was like, I ain't doing that no more. To me, that was I'm not gonna say it was a bad investment, but I did a lot. How many guys have had some many bad investments in dating? Okay, just invested in the wrong person. I mean, my goodness, taking out the wrong chick or hanging out with the wrong dude or whatever the case may be. So I had some bad investments, right? Wasting money. Good morning to you, Miss Debbie. So that's one of the things I cut out when I said I got serious about money. And it's funny that when I decided to cut that out, and I might still go to a lunch or something like that, but it's like now I got money in my bank account because I'm not spending it frivolously on someone else who's not bringing back a return in my life. And so I definitely would suggest or recommend that you evaluate your associations. You evaluate the girlfriends that you go spend your time with, to go shopping with, the guy friends that you might go out and hang out with and have a beer with, and ask yourself, man, is this wasteful? Is this really helping me to get to where I want to be when it comes to money? I'm just talking about money. I can talk about all these different things, but these same concepts will apply across your life. Now, here's the deal. It's okay to have fun every now and then. But what I found is that people are having fun every day. And when I mean fun, I'm talking about excessive type of fun. I'm talking about, my goodness, if you're going to drink, you don't got to drink every weekend, do you? I mean, if you're going to smoke, you got to smoke every day, do you? I mean, my goodness. There's no like cutoff, right? So what I decided to do, I started looking at where I was spending money, and that was first thing I would recommend. You get I'm telling you what, you know what change your life? Will change your financial life, even if you don't do a budget. Because I know that some people like doing the budget is just right. No, here's what I did. I didn't do a budget because I kind of already knew how much money I was making. I mean, me understanding the money that was coming in, that wasn't no problem, right? So I didn't have a problem understanding how much money I was making. But when I looked at my expenses, I just did an expense tracker for a week, right? I just went, all right, I used my card, my little debit card for a week, and only my card. And I did that so I could keep a record. Everybody put a console, keep a record. So I kept a record. And then I looked back on that. And I went through the detailed record. And I said, my goodness, was this necessary? Was this necessary? Why did I spend this? Why did I spend that? Why did I buy this? Why did I buy that? And then if you just do that for a week and you total it up, you're going to be like, my goodness, look at where my wealth is going. Now, the interesting thing is that the good book tells us that where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And then I started to evaluate, well, where the hell is my heart? I mean, my heart was into junk food and candy. My heart was into video games and movies to rent. My heart was into, eating out. My heart was in all these places where I didn't really believe my heart was. But see, it's called a reality check. And most people don't want to live. We live in some far away a place in our mind, but at some point we got to get to reality. And this is why many people don't listen to me, because I start talking real stuff. Like this is a reality check. And until you be honest with yourself, you're not going to move forward in life until you first start. It begins with honesty. It begins with honesty. Honesty is the best policy. It begins with you being honest with yourself about your money. And if you can't be honest with yourself, well, who can you be honest with? I mean, just think about that for a second. I want to be honest with myself. who the hell, who else could I be honest with? Am I putting on a charade with other people as if I'm being honest to them? If I can't be honest with myself, you can't be honest with nobody else. I'm just sorry. You can put on an act. You can act like you're gonna be honest with people, but at the end of the day, we know that that's just a charade. That's just not just being dishonest itself, because you're putting on a mask, you're being dishonest, and eventually the truth will set you free, and the truth will come to light. Okay, so be honest, right? Most people are scared to look at their own expenses and realize how they have been managing the money that comes into their hand, right? So these are just simple things. So if you really want to level up financially, it's just two things. Reduce your expenses. Now, here's the interesting thing about reducing your expenses. I would also say that reducing your expenses is also limited, right? Because you can only cut out so much, right? Once you cut the fat, many of us have done that. Once you cut the fat, now you got the lean, and then you can't cut the lean. Okay, so once you deal with the cutting the fat, now you're like, okay, I done cut all I can cut. Okay, I got the TV. No, I ain't got the TV to cable no more. I done did all the cutting I can do. And if you still find yourself after you did the cutting of the fat still financially distressed, well, then you got to deal with the other side of the equation. The other side of the equation of getting rich is not only just to reduce your expenses, but then it's also to increase your income. Now, here's the interesting thing about increasing your income. This means that you have to have an eye for opportunity. How many guys know that just because it may be an opportunity that's in front of you, that does not mean that that's the opportunity for you? So here's what I found as I've leveled up, is that I keep getting more and more opportunity. And now here's the interesting thing. Just like Jesus, right? Jesus came out of the wilderness, and he was tempted by the devil. And one of the temptations that came from the devil was to be able to be like the king or the empire, something like that, to have all of the kingdoms and all that stuff if he just followed him, which was, in this particular case, it was a temptation, was an opportunity rich and famous, right? An opportunity to have all that you want to have, right? So I want you to understand, especially as you start to level up, is that there's going to be distractions disguised as opportunity, right? So now we get to a place of discernment. We got to be able to discern or analyze or notice or pick apart or figure out if the opportunity that's in front of me is an opportunity that's for me. Let me say that again for the people in the back. If the opportunity that's in front of me, because how many guys have had opportunities where it's like, oh, okay, you do this and you're going to make some money. Hashtag network marketing. Oh, do this network marketing. Come join our team and you're going to make some money. I'm going to show you how to do it and all this stuff, right? Like, now I'm not saying that network marketing doesn't work for some people, but I will tell you it doesn't work for most people. Okay, it doesn't work for most people. But anyway, so these are distractions disguised as opportunity, and it's the easiest way to distract an individual is to provide them with an opportunity to make money, right? Because everyone has like this whole thing about, oh yeah, I can make some money. Oh yeah, I see you driving the limo or the Benz. Oh yeah, you got the pink Cadillac and I want a pink Cadillac too. So it's like, oh man, if you can do it, I can do it, which is true. If they could do it, you can do it as well. But the problem though is that you don't know how they did it, right? And how they did it may not be how you actually can do it. It may not work for you. You may not have the personality. You may not have the network. You may not have all these different things that may go into their success. How many guys know that? I don't know why I'm talking about network marketing this morning, but network marketing, how many guys know that a networker, what they do, particularly in order for them to look like they're larger than life, is when they switch to a new company, they bring their network with them. Right? They're a leader, right? So they bring their network with them and they get the bonuses, they get all the fast track stuff, and now they're regional, VP, and all these different names and titles. And all they did was just bring their network from some other network marketing company into this network marketing company, and all of their disciples or their sheep, right, followed them. Now the sheep, here's what I found: the sheep typically don't make money. They make a little money, I guess. Or they have a reason why they do what they do. But if I start really diving into, the return on investment, most don't get a return, right? Most don't. That doesn't mean you won't be the exception, but I'm just saying, evaluating opportunity. So opportunity or distractions come disguised as opportunity, especially when it comes to opportunities to make money. And it's very important that you level up in discernment to determine if the opportunity that is before you is actually an opportunity that's for you. Does that make sense? All right, so we're talking about increasing income. So it's like, okay, now I have to want to make more money. That's the first thing. You got to desire it. You have to have a desire. Now, it's the difference, right? I think there's a big difference between wanting something, needing something, and desiring something. A lot of people want to get rich or want more money, but that's not a real desire. It's almost as if, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. And then obviously there's some people who really need to. Right now, need can move the needle. Need can move the needle just a little bit. Unfortunately, though, although it's a need, what I found is that doesn't necessarily push people to do what they have to do, but only when that need is powerful enough. Only when it's like the lights are about to get cut off. I've been playing around too long. I know I needed this money for 30 days, and I just figured if I just prayed long enough, hoped long enough, that God would drop the money in the mailbox and I'd be able to pay my light bill. But then I realized it didn't work like that. Then I had a reality check, and now they're calling, and they actually cut it off, and my kids are at home. So now I really need to make this money or get some money, right? And then what happens, right? You went from need to really need, and then now you really need it. Now you start calling people who ain't talked to in years, trying to figure out a way to get money from them. When here's the thing. That whole 30 days that you needed the money, you could have took time to figure out how you're going to get the money. You could have went and picked up your second job. You could have did some odds and ends stuff. You could have did your arts and crafts. You could have baked some cookies. You could have done a whole bunch of things, but you didn't. What you did do was pray. What you did do was ask a little bit. What you did was hope, but you didn't do no work. That's a problem. I got the faith to believe, but I didn't do any work. Oh, you know what that equals, right? That's a problem. That equals problem. So I meet a lot of people who have the faith to believe, but they're not willing to do the work. And they don't realize in their consciousness that that's a problem. And for some reason, they might attend this thing called church on Sundays, and they still don't get it. Whether they talk about it in the church or not, I don't know. I don't go anymore. But that's a problem. You got the faith to believe, but you're not willing to do the work. So that's the thing. I think those are the need people. I need it, but we'll see what happens. I really need it now. Okay, I'm gonna go make it happen. Now, have you ever noticed that when a person that you're around, they really need it, they find a way to get it? And it reminds me, I was I'm talking about this situation I was in. I was in a relationship, and I was with one of these really needed people. And so every month she needed money, and every month she would just wait. And wait. Now I'm sitting there like, I don't get this. I really didn't understand the behavior. I was supporting. I'm trying to do what I can, but I didn't understand the behavior at the time. She wait. I'm like, what are you waiting on? Like, let's get this money. Can we level up in life? She wait until she really needed it. Then all of a sudden, when she really needed it, like in 2 days, she had a job doing something. And I'm like, how the hell you get a job that fast? Then she go to work for a couple weeks or whatever the case, take care of what she really needed, and then she'd be out of work. I'm like, damn, how you lose that? Why you stop working? What happened? And so that was inconsistency there. And eventually I can't live like that. I can't live like that. Like, I don't know what you're going to do. I mean, I don't know. That didn't make no sense to me. So I had to say goodbye, but I just kind of watched. We're still friends today at that lifestyle, having the ambition, saying able-bodied, all the potential in the world, but you just only move on really need. So I say need doesn't move the needle. Really need might move the needle just a little bit. If you really need something, it can get you off of E. It can get you off of empty. That's what I do know. And when you really need it, you can get off E. When you really need it, all of a sudden you get creative. When you really need it, all of a sudden you figure out it's called desperate. Desperate times call for desperate measures. How many guys are tired of living in desperation? Things seem to be going okay, comfortable enough, right? I got my little job, or I got my little house, and I'm just coasting right now. And then all of a sudden something hits you and it's desperate. I'm telling you, we don't have to live like that. We don't have to live in comfortable to desperate, from desperate back to comfortable. Matter of fact, I live a life where I'm tired of being comfortable. Why am I tired of being comfortable? Because I know there's so much greater in me. Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. There's so much greater in me that how dare I live a life of comfortability, or another person would say conforming to the world. Now, here's the deal. I'm not saying that I'm not comfortable. I'm comfortable making money. I'm comfortable leveling up. I'm comfortable seeing my bank account rise each and every day. I'm comfortable collecting checks each and every day. I'm comfortable doing that. Many people are not. But I done got comfortable making money. I done got comfortable increasing my income. How about you? Right? So it's from comfort, it seems like, to like desperate times calls for desperate measures. And I'm just tired of, listen, black folk, I'm particularly talking to black folk, because that's where I was growing. I raised and with black folk all my life. I've been living with black folk my whole life. And I've seen it time and time again when it comes to this thing called money. Just comfortable. Don't push it. Don't hit the gas no more. Just drifting. Just no pedal to the metal. And then all of a sudden, something happens, it occurs, things will happen right in life. And now we're like, oh, let's see, I got to hit the grind. Well, why did you stop grinding in the first place? Why did you stop going after it in the first place? Did you reach your goal? Probably not. You didn't reach your goal. Matter of fact, did you even set a goal? Probably not. Or was your goal to just, my goal is to get to a space of comfortable, and you're trying to tell me that living paycheck to paycheck is comfortable to you? Not me. No, ma'am. Not gonna work for me. So relatively easy to understand, right? It reduce your expenses and increase your income. So my question to you guys that are watching right now live, you're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, what are you doing to increase your income? Now, here's the beautiful thing about increasing your income. The beautiful thing about increasing your income is that there's no limit to how much money you can earn. There's a limit to how much you can reduce. There's no limit to how much you can earn. So to get into a space of unlimited is a beautiful place to be. You start realizing, wow, there's money being made everywhere. I just have to figure out what I want to do to make the money and become the best at it, and and penetrate the market with what my product, my service, my knowledge, whatever it is that you do. Now, here's what I will say. Here's what I find to be a problem for many of us when it comes to earning extra income. I will say that if you're a person that wants to earn more money, really, I'm talking about real money. Like, I'm not just talking about a few extra dollars. I'm not talking about the extra job that you have, which is cool. You can start there, because I think if you start with the extra job, maybe it'll help you to change the way that you think, and you start seeing stuff differently. You start you'd be too busy to do all the crazy stuff that you used to do, because now you got the two jobs. But I believe you should have a full-time job and a part-time business. I want you to get there. I want you to get to full-time business, full-time job, part-time business, if that's where you are, until you can get to full-time business, part-time business, right? As a matter of fact, I want to move away from side hustles. All right, let's turn our side hustles into side business. As a matter of fact, this Wednesday, that may be something that we discuss for our business development mastermind, how to turn your side hustle into a side business. So since increasing your income is unlimited, why not dwell in the place of the unlimited? Or another way to say unlimited is eternal. It's infinite. Like, you can make as much money as you like to make, as much money as you're willing to put the effort in to make. But how many guys know that in order to really do that, to earn as much money as I want to earn, that requires a time, effort, work, consistency. It requires that. It requires the things that people are putting into things that are not making them money. You know what I'm saying? They put the time and energy and the effort into the alcohol or to the clubs or to the concerts or to whatever, the shopping excursions, the vacations. I mean, all that stuff. And all that stuff could be relative. But I'm just simply saying, if you're a person that's not where you want to be financially, first, do you know where you want to be financially? Most people don't. If I ask them where you want to be financially a year from now, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, that's not okay. Can we really set some real goals here? Everybody say, I want to be a millionaire. Like, can we set a real goal for you that you didn't just regurgitate so it sounds good to somebody? Right? So we got to get to honesty where we are. We got to determine where we want to be, and we must practice these disciplines in order to get there. Does that make sense? First, where you are, honesty. That's why I said number one would be the spending tracker, to track your expenses. Right? Number one, honesty. Where is my money going? Everybody put that in comments below. Where is my money going? It's important. Now, you might think you have a good idea of where it's going, but I need you to figure out where it's going exactly on a week-by-week basis. If you really want to level up financially, you need to know where you're starting at. Where is your money going right now? Right? That's honesty. Honesty is the best policy, your starting point. Then we get to, okay, well, all right, this is where your money is going. You have an understanding of what's going on, how much money you make, where it's going, where you spend it at. Now we need to set a goal of where you want to be. If I were to ask you right now, how much money do you want to earn by the end of the year? Got 3 months left or 2.5 months left. Do you have a number for how much money in these last 2.5 months you want to earn? Most people don't. Right? Most people don't. And because you don't set a target, it's hard to hit what you don't set. Does that make sense? Right? So Debbie's here, right? She's the only one that's responding. Oh, good morning, Miss Jacqueline's here as well. So let's just say I'll take Debbie for this is just an example, right? As a man, Debbie, I see you out working. I'm like, oh, that's a nice looking sister right there. And I'll be like, man, I'm gonna figure out a way to have me a dinner with Debbie, right? That's me as a man setting a target. So now I might find myself at the space where you work at a little bit more often. I might find myself having a few more conversations with you a little bit more often. I might find myself asking a few questions to figure out what you like and what you like to eat and all that stuff a little bit more often. And then I might just be like, hey, Debbie, I overheard that you like that you enjoy seafood, and today we're going over to the seafood house, and I just want to know if you might want to come along and just have a nice little lunch. And they'd be like, oh, I love seafood. Yeah, well, today's not a good day. Let's try to go Saturday. Right? Debbie's become familiar with me. And the reason why she's become familiar with me is because I put myself in position because I got a target. Right? I got something I wanted to accomplish. Well, it's no different when we start talking about your money. Right? We're in the last quarter of the year. Matter of fact, we're in the final 3 months of the decade. You understand what I'm saying? 10 years. Final 3 months of the decade. And if you look over this decade, the 2000s, the teens, I guess, 2000 teens, right? There's a lot that you've accomplished. You've come far. You're still here. But there's probably some things that you did not accomplish that you may have wanted to or wished to or hoped to accomplish. And I'm talking about money. I'm talking about the things you wanted to have, the amount of money you wanted to acquire. Now, what you did with the money is something different, right? That's something different we're talking about. But how much you wanted to earn. So if I ask you, and you may not have this answer, and I'm not saying that you have to answer now. But think about it. How much do I want to earn by the end of the month? Or end of the decade, the end of the quarter, right? How much do I want to earn today? So yes, let me give you another example, right? Maybe the dating example didn't help you that much. So yesterday, right, I went to Spelman College and that is a black HBCU, a historically black college here in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's an all-female school. And so I went there. They have this thing called Market Fridays, and so they allow people to come in, vendors, the local vendors, to come in, set up shop, sell their goods to the population there, students, teachers, and all that stuff. So I went there yesterday for the first time, and it cost me $40 to be there, which is pretty reasonable. And I went there, and but I didn't just go there just I didn't wake up just that yesterday morning and say I'm going to Spelman, let me go. No. First, I had a plan. So I'd figure out, okay, who do I expect to see at Spelman? All women, all girls, right? Probably between the ages of 17 to 25, right? That's about a good guess, right? Good guess for who I plan to see. Who is the predominant the demographic that will be there when I get there. Does that make sense, right? So I'm thinking about, okay, well, if I have girls, black girls, black women, I guess, young ladies, I don't know what you want, black women, young ladies, something like that. Anyway, black women, ages 18 to 25, predominantly, then I got to start thinking about, well, what do black women at age 18 to 25 want to buy? Right? Because it makes no sense for me to take something up there that won't appeal to a black woman between 18 and 25. Does that make sense? So what am I doing? I'm formulating a plan of what I'm going to say. I got a plan, figure out what I'm going to bring to sell. I had to read through stipulations on what I couldn't sell based upon, what they have set in stone for that particular location. They say you can't sell handmade soap. You can't sell this. You can't sell that. I said, okay. So now I go up there. I got my plan. I go up there with my burner oils. I go up there with my fragrance oil. I had a big lounge set up for the women's fragrances because I'm going to see mostly women, few men. Had a few men out there just in case they have boyfriends walking around with them, right? I had the essential oils, which I knew that a lot of women are getting into now. A lot of getting into the natural stuff, right? Had that out there. I had the women's wallets. I said, y'all carry money? Y'all women's wallets. Now, I didn't sell no wallets for some reason. I don't know what happened. Didn't sell no wallet. I had calendars and planners and journals. I figured y'all in school. Y'all probably may start planning. Y'all like to write stuff down. I was wrong about that. Didn't sell no planners, didn't sell no calendars, didn't sell no journals. Okay. So the whole bunch of, and then I had my new item, right? Which is our mini messenger bags, right? These little mini messenger crossbody bags or whatever, right? Had these. Sold a ton of these, by the way, a ton of them. So, but I went there with a plan. 17 girls, 17 to 25. What do they like? What do they plan? What are they probably going to buy? I knew they didn't have a whole bunch of money. They're college students. Probably, at most they might spend $30. $20 is about their threshold, right? About 20. If I got something for $20 or less, they might get it. That's the plan. Now, when I get there, or before I get there, or when I'm setting up, now I got to do what? I got to figure out my target. My money target. How much do I plan to, how much am I going to make today? Now, listen, I didn't leave it up to chance. Like I said, this is how much I'm going to make today. And I'm going to make, so my target, I said, I got to pay $40 to be there, $250. That's a good target for me. First time there, I don't know what to expect, but I'm shooting for $250. Anybody want to guess how much money I made yesterday? On a slow day. Matter of fact, it was slow. It was slow. It was slow. Don't know why it was slow, but it was slow. And I said, well, shoot, if it's slow today, well, when I come back for homecoming in 2 weeks, it's going to be pretty busy then. So I had a plan. I set a target. Anybody want to guess how much money I made yesterday? How much money? Gross. Gross. Gross means before I take out expenses, cost of goods getting sold, paying somebody to help me be there, all that good stuff, but gross. 500? That's a good guess. That's a good guess. So not quite 500. 500 would have been nice. So I made actually $350, right? $350 for, what was I there, from 10 to 5? So I made $350 on a slow day. And you know what I was saying to myself? There's some people who may make $350 in a week. And I just made $350 on a slow day on a Friday. And then when I came back, I was like, oh shit, it's only Friday. I still got Saturday. I got Saturday. I ain't even touched Saturday yet. Oh Lord, my weekend getting started out well because I got a target $1,000 this weekend. I'm already at $350. I only got $650 left to go, and this is Saturday. Now more people spend money on Saturday than they do on Friday, so they're going to a health fair. Do the same thing. Switch it up. What am I going to take to the health fair? It's a health fair. Okay. Well, I need to probably take my toothpaste, my fluoride-free toothpaste. I take all of my natural personal care stuff there, plus the oils, plus the essential oils, essential sprays, right? All the natural stuff. That's where I'm going to health fair. It makes sense, right? That makes sense. I got a plan. My soap, my toothpaste, my black soap, my mango butter, right? I'm going to take all that stuff. And I'm going to sell some more stuff. I got a plan, right? I got a plan. And so again, what we're talking about today is a get-rich plan. People don't level up financially. What I found is because they never plan to. They don't have a plan. Any road will get them there, right? A plan. Do you have a get-rich plan? Do you have a legacy plan? Do you have a leave it in inheritance to your children plan? I mean, this stuff sounds good to scream it. It sounds good to say it, man. Yeah, you know, God, yeah, I'm gonna leave inheritance to my children. It sounds good. I mean, all that stuff sounds good until we start talking about what's your plan. See, when we start talking about what's your plan, people get quiet. All right, I don't really have a plan. I just, you know, I didn't read the other parts where the Lord will guide my steps, and you know what I'm saying. And I have a plan for you, a plan for you to prosper. Even God says something about he got a plan. So once I ask people about their plan, they don't have one. I mean, no clue. I was supposed to put a plan together? Well, yeah. You didn't read that part? Do you have a get-rich plan? Do you have your leaving a legacy plan? Do you have an inheritance for your children's plan? Because here's what the deal is, guys. I want you to understand this. If you don't have a get-rich plan, then alternatively, you are defaulting to a be broke plan. And let me say that again for the people in the back. If you don't have a get-rich plan, by default, you have a stay broke plan. You have a paycheck to paycheck living type of plan. By default. It don't take, let me tell you, and it don't take no effort to be broke. I mean, it don't take a whole lot of effort. It don't take a whole lot of effort to live paycheck to paycheck. You don't have to really work that hard to live paycheck to paycheck. That's normal. It doesn't require much to do that. That's easy. So, and you said it right, right in favor. You'll write the vision down, right? So if God says that I have a plan for you, a plan and a hope for you to prosper a future, right? And then he says something like that. I pray that you would prosper as your soul prospers. Then that tells me that God has already given you some ideas, some thoughts, some dreams, some aspirations, some instructions. But did you write the vision down and make it plain? Did you turn your plan and make it plain? Let me ask you this. And again, these are just things for you to consider, to think about. What has God instructed you to do that for some reason you have just refused to do? And when I say refuse to do, you've done something like this. I'll get to it. I'll do it later. Not right now. It's on my to-do list. Now, this is God giving you instructions as a human being to go and perform. And you tell God, I'll get to it later. You have the audacity to tell your father that it's on my to-do list. I just don't think God was like, just do it when you want to do it. I think he kind of was like, do it like now. Like, there's no other time that you have. I mean, the life could be snatched from you. Your breath could be snatched from you in a matter of moments. And you're putting God on hold and his instructions to deliver you on hold and his insight and his wisdom on hold and his plans for you to succeed and to prosper on hold. How dare you? Now, here's the interesting thing, and the last thing I want to leave with you, especially as Brother E just coming out a little bit today. Now, what I read in the good book, he said something like this, that obedience is far better than sacrifice. Obedience is far better than sacrifice. Everybody put that in comments below. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Here's what I found in life as I've just studied people. They rather sacrifice than obey. Let me say that again for the people in the back. For the people in the way back. You might want to get that one. God says that obedience is better than sacrifice. But what I found is that most people would rather sacrifice than obey. Isn't that interesting? So, you told me to do something. I don't want to do that because I got to alter my lifestyle, or I got to alter what I had planned to do today, or, it's messing with my schedule. But I'll sacrifice a little bit of money in my tithes and offerings. But obey, I get around to that. Isn't that interesting? Obedience is better than sacrifice. Now, how many guys would agree that God is trying to lead you to prosperity in every area of your life? Of course, I'm talking about money specifically, but money is the smallest form of way to prosper. That God wants you to prosper. That he's leading you to prosperity in your own field and whatever it is that he's gifted you to do or be or whatever, that God wants you to prosper. And we say live the blessed life. Now we can go through all the different things. Blessed in the city, blessed in the field, blessed when you come, blessed when you go. He wants you to live the blessed life. Now, but there's a requirement, which many people continue to overlook. There's a requirement to the blessed life. He says something like this: if you will hearken or listen and obey, then you will be blessed. I think that's what it says. If you listen and obey, then you will be blessed. So there's a prerequisite from God himself who says, this is all I need you to do. I got you. I got the rest. All that you can dare, dream, think, or ask, I can do more above that than you can even think about. I mean, I got I own the whole world. I want to give it to you. You're my child. You should have the best. But all I need you to decide to do, everybody put in comments on decide. All I need you to decide to do is listen. Now, part of that listen is listen to the Spirit. Another part of that listen is actually reading the book. Listen and obey. So that if you heard what I said, after you read what you read, now do it. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Now, I found too many of us who rather sacrifice than obey. Hey, man, that's what I got for you today, man, here on ERGJ with Money Talks with ERGJ. Do you got a get rich plan? If not, why not? Isn't it time, overdue, for you, your family, your descendants, to put together a get rich plan? Now, you might say get wealthy plan. I don't care. Rich and wealthy don't matter to me. All right, a prosperity plan. Let's call it that if you want to call it that. You get my drift. This is New Black Wall Street. This is the New Black Wall Street. And I'm your ERGJ, man. We invite you to join the Black Billionaires Club. You want more of this. You want help. You want support. You want to get with people who are serious about this thing. Well, join the Black Billionaires Club. Find us at www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.